When Claire first said it, I honestly thought she was joking. No kissing, no hugging, no touching, she muttered, eyes locked on her phone, thumbs flying. I chuckled, assuming she was being sarcastic, but she didn't even glance at me. My smile slipped away, leaving a heavy silence pressing down on the room. For a moment, I was lost for words. Claire had always been affectionate, at least in the beginning. She used to welcome me home with a hug, kiss me goodnight, slip her hand into mine while we watched TV. But all of that had vanished, like the last glow of a fire fading into cold ash. "Are you serious?" I asked, my voice quieter than I meant to be. She sighed as though I were bothering her. "I'm tired. I don't feel like it anymore. Let's just live as we are. No kissing, no hugging, no touching. It's better this way." Better for who? I thought. Certainly not for me. At first, I forced myself to swallow the hurt, telling myself it was stress or maybe exhaustion from her new job. Couples go through phases, I reasoned, but days turned to weeks, and weeks into months. Nothing changed. The gap between us widened into a canyon running straight through our marriage. I tried to bridge it, planned dinners, brought her flowers, even suggested weekend trips. She brushed them all off, cold and dismissive, like a salesman's pitch she wanted nothing to do with. The woman I'd fallen in love with, the one who laughed at my bad jokes and curled against me on stormy nights, was gone. The breaking point came one Sunday morning. I stood in the kitchen making coffee, sorting through bills, rent due, gas higher than usual, groceries running low. I set the papers neatly on the counter, waiting for her to come down. When she finally appeared, hair messy, phone in hand as always, I tried to get her attention. "Claire, we need to talk about the bills." Without looking up, she muttered, "You handle them. You always do." Something snapped in me then. Her indifference, her rejection, her complete detachment. It all boiled over. If she could set rules in this house, so could I. "You don't want kissing, hugging, or touching," I said, my voice steady now. She finally looked at me, annoyance flashing in her eyes. "Fine. Then no rent, no gas, no groceries. Let's see how that kind of partnership works." Her mouth dropped open, stunned. For the first time in months, she realized I wasn't going to silently accept her terms anymore. "What did you just say?" she asked sharply. "You heard me." I said calmly, "No rent, no gas, no groceries. If this marriage is a contract where you erase intimacy, then I can erase responsibility." Her phone slipped from her hand, landing on the counter with a soft thud. For a moment, the only sound was the hum of the refrigerator. Then she scoffed, folded her arms. "You're being dramatic." "Am I?" I shot back. "You've shut me out completely, Claire. No affection, no connection, no love. What am I paying for here? A roommate who barely acknowledges me." Her face tightened, but she stayed silent, and that silence felt like confirmation. That week, I followed through. I didn't transfer the rent. The fridge stayed empty, except for condiments and milk. I stopped filling her car with gas. I didn't shout. I didn't argue. I simply withdrew the support she'd always taken for granted. At first, she pretended not to care, ordering takeout, using her own car for gas, tossing me cold looks as if to say, "You won't win." But by the end of the week, her patience cracked. One evening, she stormed into the living room where I sat reading. "This is ridiculous," she snapped. "You're punishing me because I don't want to touch you. That's pathetic." I closed my book slowly, met her eyes, and said evenly, "No, Claire, I'm holding you accountable. Marriage is about give and take. You decided to only take. I've decided not to give. It's that simple." Her lips trembled, and for the first time in months, I saw something flicker in her eyes. Fear, maybe even regret. "You can't just turn everything off like that," she whispered. "Why not?" I replied softly. "You did." The weight of those words hung between us, heavy and undeniable. She sank onto the edge of the couch, her pride finally cracking. "I didn't realize how far I'd pushed you," she admitted, her voice small and vulnerable, like the Claire I used to know. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. The silence wasn't cold this time. It was fragile, like glass that could shatter with a single wrong move. Then she stretched out her hand, resting it on the cushion between us. Just a small gesture of peace. I didn't take it right away. Part of me ached to. Another part wanted her to sit in the emptiness I'd been drowning in for so long. Claire, I said finally, I don't need perfection. I just need a partner. If you can't give me that, then whatever this is, it's over. Her eyes filled with tears. She nodded slowly. I'll try, she whispered. Maybe she meant it. Maybe it was too late. But in that moment, I knew one thing for sure. I'd found my voice again. I wasn't going to live quietly, begging for scraps of affection, while carrying the weight of everything else. And if she couldn't face that truth, then I'd walk away.